Hi, everybody. Here's Melissa, and we are today having a party with the Pelicans, and of course, Herman, our Heerman's Gull. So we gave these guys a little bit of food earlier today. You want to tell us about them, Melissa?
So the food that we give them is we have herring, and we happen to have their favorite, which is smelt. This is Baja. He's a brown pelican, and this is Marshall. He's an American White Pelican. And so I'm going to start off because these guys are pretty eager here. And we got Marshall here about 2 years ago. So he's 2 years old. Baja is 9 years old. And the reason that Marshall came to us here is because he was hit by a truck. So they found him underneath the tire of a truck. And Baja here got tangled up in fishing wire. So his wing, he has a permanent wing injury. And Marshall is blind in one eye. Okay? So they're definitely different. It's very fun to feed them, as you can see. They've got giant beaks here.
They do like their smelt.
Yes.
I wanted to point out that Marshall was named in honor of Joan Coyle Carvalho, her daughter, named Marshall. Gave him his name in honor of her mom. So I wanted to point that out. And isn't he an amazing bird? Aren't they both just incredible? This is a pretty cool view you have from this animal, Melissa. Yes. When she and I were talking about filming this, we talked about doing it from, basically her position. We both have masks on. We're good. So you can see the inside of the pouch when you toss them the fish, and they are just incredible birds. What's that pouch for, Melissa?
That pouch is to filter fish. So what they do is, for the brown pelican here, Baja, they will dive into the water, and they can dive up to 65 feet, dive into the water, grab fish, and then strain that water out through that pouch, just like a fishing net.
Because it's actually a mussel, right?
Mm-hmm. It is. They can hold up to 2.5 gallons of water in that pouch.
That's amazing.
Okay? And you can imagine at 65 feet, that's a pretty steep dive, and it's really neat because once they go down and they hit the water, they do this really quick head turn at the last minute so that they don't damage their esophagus. Oops.
Oh, of course. Of course. And I know that's a really difficult thing to learn how to do, that dive. Mm-hmm. I remember watching the wonderful movie on Pelicans and talking about how first-year birds that's a really tough thing for them to learn how to do. And it's a big survival question for first-year pelicans to see if they're going to be able to actually do what they need to do in order to survive.
Now, Marshall here is, so Baja's brown pelicans are found on both east and west coasts. Okay. And Marshall here is more of the wetlands, coastal bay, marshlands. Marshall. So
Marshall,
exactly. Definitely where he gets his name.
I've actually seen white pelicans up in Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
Yes. So they're feeding on more freshwater fish, carp, minnows, invertebrates as well. They do a cooperative scavenging or foraging technique where they all get together and they herd a school of fish and they all go down at the same time and pick it out.
Oh, I love that. It's like a ballet watching them do that, isn't it? It's just incredible.
And if you want to know what the inside of a pelican's pouch feels like, it feels like a deflated balloon.
Ooh, does it really?
It does. It does.
Yes. Kind of looks like one too.
Yep.
I love it when these guys, and we'll watch for a bit, and they might actually do it. I love it when they do the stretch and they actually have to stretch out their pouch. Mm-hmm. You see them do that, and they actually do that. They do like a stretch thing, like you do if you got to stretch out your neck or something. It's such an interesting adaptation. These birds are just incredible, and love the pushy pelicans, Heather says. Yes, they are definitely pushy. Well, we did disrupt their feeding schedule just a little bit in order to do our filming today. Like I said, they got a little bit of food this morning, and then Melissa is feeding them the rest. She's also feeding them their favorite, which is smelt. Apparently they will eat herring, but they don't really like it as much.
Yeah, herring is really good for them. It has a very high calorie count. And so they're like, I suppose, but...
You think herring would be delicious?
Yes. If
you were a pelican.
It's human grade herring.
It's human grade herring, of course, yeah.
All right, buddy, you want more? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's like, I get that. Oh, all right.
So these guys, of course, are wildlife ambassadors in WildCare's Courtyard. If you're a regular visitor to WildCare, then you've seen these guys in their amazing pool, which was, of course, recently redone by Hendrickson's Pool.
Yes.
Did a spectacular job. with setting up a brand new filtration system and really making this space for them absolutely beautiful. It's an amazing transformation that happened with the pool, thanks to Hendrickson's pools. Really, really nicely done.
It changed their lives.
Changed
it really
their
did.
lives. Yep, absolutely.
If you've ever been to WildCare, you know that this had a bunch of cobblestones, and they basically just outgrew it, and so they needed something new. So they have this nice flat, beautiful rocks. The pool they completely redid. They replastered. We removed the pole. These guys can now stretch their wings as they're coming across.
Herman.
Yes, he is a stealer. He's a scavenger
Baja.
as well.
So this food down here is actually for the Heerman's Gull, Herman, who is over there. And Baja, the little sneaker, just came in and ate all of Herman's smelt. I see how you are. So these guys, of course, are all non-releaseable animals. That's why they're on view to the public. In the wildlife hospital, when we get a pelican in, that pelican is a wildlife hospital patient, and the goal, of course, is to release him. Baja actually came in as a patient with that fishing line, and he originally went over to the International Bird Rescue Center, an amazing group of people over in the East Bay, and they worked to get him rehabilitated back to the point where he could be released. Here's Marshall walking past me. And he never was able to fly well enough to be properly released. So we did not, he ended up becoming an ambassador because he had come in so young, and the wing injury made him non-releasable. But the wildlife hospital patients, of course, get all the care, and they are then released back to the wild. But these guys, because of their conditions, are not able to survive in the wild. So they're here as educational animals, and I have to say, they are so incredibly cool to see up close.
They are, and they have a really good connection with the peregrine falcon here. Everybody's connected in some way. I know that we talked a little bit about DDT and banning that pesticides because it was making the eggshells really thin.
Right.
Brown pelicans, same thing.
Right.
Because they actually, and this is amazing, they incubate their eggs with their feet.
It seems like a poor choice.
It does.
Yeah.
But that's how they incubate their eggs. And so with the use of DDT, when we were using that,
by we mean people.
Yes,
people in general.
Humans were. They were making the eggshells very
too fragile, and I know they were very close on the brink of extinction, but they've been pulled off the endangered species list, right?
They have. Yeah. Both these species here also nest on the ground. But brown pelicans, which I learned and didn't know, is that they can also nest in trees.
Oh, isn't that interesting? That seems also like an interesting choice. It was like our wood duck, seeing a floppy-footed animal, a webbed-footed animal
up in the tree.
Up in a tree is a trip. So you can see that Melissa does a tremendous number of things to keep these birds' lives entertaining, and they clearly like their toys.
They do. They love this. It's been really great because for a long time we just had Baja, and he didn't have another pelican friend. And then when we got Marshall, he really just started interacting a lot more with the toys, the enrichment items, and more interacting with us, and of course with Marshall here. So it's been really great. Marshall's been quite a wonderful addition to our program, addition to the little group that we have in here. But let me tell you, it is not the big guys that are in charge here. It is that little lady over there.
It is so true. Herman the Heerman's Gull. Yes. She runs the show.
She's 23 years old.
She is.
And she was, we believe that she was gunshot in the wing.
So
that's why we have her.
Right, so she can't fly either.
Right. But she definitely bosses these guys around.
And they move out of her way. They really do listen to her, yep.
They really do listen to her. So she definitely, it's the littlest ones that are the feistiest, I'm telling you, but Marshall and Baja are absolutely a wonderful little team here. And very, very intelligent, very playful.
Very curious. I'm always so interested in how curious they are. They seem like such sort of primordial birds. They look like one step away from dinosaurs, but they are so curious and so trainable and just so, in touch with their world in a way that, for some reason, I wouldn't have expected a pelican.
Yeah, and, I power wash in here quite a bit, because pelican poop is like glue, and so I have to power wash quite a bit. And they help me. They'll grab the hose for me, they'll hold the hose. They're just very, very, very curious about everything.
Yep. Now, do we need to worry about them swallowing their toy?
Nope. No. This is monitored, so I will watch them do this, and then they'll lose interest in about 10 minutes or so, and then I'll pick up all the toys and store them. But they pick up their feathers. They'll play with their feathers. They'll play with the grass around here, or this big, nice palm. That,
a little enrichment item there.
Yeah, that they do. But they're just amazing. They're quite fun to just watch their behavior, and in this difference of size too is a lot of people think that they're the same. They're both pelicans. One thing's that they're both brown pelicans, but they're not. Marshall is about 16 pounds, and Baja over there is about 8.
Wow,
Yeah.
16 pounds for Marshall. That's amazing. He's a big bird.
He is, and he's all feather.
He is. He's all fluff, huh?
Yeah, when we have to check them, and they all have annual exams, or if they have something on their foot, we always check these guys. We weigh them, we're really on it. And they feel like bubble wrap.
Oh, interesting, yeah.
And then here comes Mr. Baja. So, and they definitely have different personalities, every single one of them. Baja's kind of the, I would say, the leader of the pack in that, he's the big brother. This is the little brother over here.
Oh, he does act like a kid brother,
yeah,
doesn't he?
he does. Yeah, Marshall will do anything that Baja does. So if we can train Baja to do something, Marshall picks it up right away as well, which is why he now catches his food. He never used to catch his food.
Oh,
He used to hand feed him, but he
interesting.
saw us doing that with Baja, and he wanted to be like the big guy.
Be like the big guy,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I know, he looks so
beautiful. What a gorgeous bird he is.
He is. And they love just hanging out here. They'll interact with their toys. They'll take a nap. They spend a lot of time napping. Often you'll come in here and they'll be taking their beak and they'll tuck it behind their wings.
Yeah.
Again, that beak is used to also keep them cool. Like you'll come in here and you'll see them kind of flapping their pouch. That's one way to keep them cool.
The gull are fluttering,
The
yes.
gull are fluttering. They're panting.
It's like panting like dogs do, sort of.
And then what they also do is put it in their wings to stay warm, because if you can get up close enough, and I think you can see it here in Marshall, he's got a lot of capillaries there.
Oh, on his face.
Yes,
Sure.
yes. So that's the way that the feet and the beak are the way they're heating and cooling themselves.
Isn't that interesting?
And he's playful, and I don't know if that's because he's 2 or if that's just going to be his personality.
Right. Here comes Herman.
Yeah, see?
Herman's got something to say. I think she's yelling at Baja. Yep. Oh, and then that's his response. I don't know if you can hear his vocalization. Yeah. He does that hiss. Herman's like, excuse me, I think you ate my lunch.
Yeah. She's a great little scavenger as well. So she'll go, when we feed them too, she'll pick up all their extra food that they've left. And she gets eggs, insects, tiny little smelts. So she has a pretty varied diet.
Sure, and these guys just get fish, right?
These guys just get fish, yeah.
Yeah, and that would be what they'd eat in the wild.
And we go through quite a lot of fish.
I know we do, absolutely. And you're doing a wonderful job of keeping all of our educational animals healthy during the COVID-19 emergency. And I am just so happy that we are able to share this lovely spotlight on our pelicans and our gull in our beautiful pool today. Visit us online at discoverwildcare.org. See us every weekday at 1 o'clock here on Facebook for a live stream of either one of our patients here or one of our wildlife hospital patients. We look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Everybody stay safe, stay well, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye, Pelicans. Bye, Baja.